So, Elina, we're sitting in your home in London. We're surrounded with your beautiful paintings. Can you tell me more about them?
Yeah, the home looks really nice now. I had 2 shows last month, and instead of the studio, I brought the paintings back home, and now I don't want to give them back to the studio, really.
Yeah, they create such a beautiful atmosphere at home. It's so bright and colorful.
Yeah, I do love bright colors. Yeah, fluorescents especially, because they give that extra tingle to my brain when I look at it.
Tell me more about the characters of your paintings.
Right, so I paint mostly about ecology and our health, and I zoom in and out of bigger structures. So zooming out, for example, I paint trees and corals, and zooming in, I go deep inside the body of the human. So immune cells and synapses and blood vessels. So you can see quite a lot of like coral structures in my paintings, but they're not just corals, they're also trees, they're broccoli. They are our lungs and our blood vessels and synapses in our brain. So that structure kind of unites it all into one cohesive world that I build. Also, my grandmother was a cytologist, which is the scientist who determined if people had illnesses like cancer via their cells. So when I was a kid, she often brought me to her lab and showed me all those little glass specimen through the microscope. So that imagery kind of imprinted in me. Yeah, you're looking at the watchers.
I'm watching the watchers.
You're watching the watchers. So this is one of the watcher series. The watchers are little creatures that live in your house, and they protect you from the evils. So you know the concept of the evil eye in different cultures. So it's kind of like that. So the watchers watch the news for you, and they absorb all the negativity that there is in the world. So they're watching you back, literally.
Yeah, there is one at the back.
Yeah, there is. Here we go. Yeah, so that's a little...
You're so cute.
Yeah, they have really big eyes, and they're watching you.
What's happening in their head? What's happening in their brain?
I have no idea. I hope they process everything without therapy.
They're purging everything.
Yeah. And they're kind of omnipresent, but they're a little bit creepy, but also cute. That's why I like them so much. And they all have, again, those dendritic kind of coral structures on their brains, so they're catching all the crap that's in the air.
How did you first come up with the idea? What inspired you to go into such beautiful, bright colors? Because our outside world, even though it's bright, it started becoming a little less dense with color. Like all the buildings, they tend to shift towards like gray palette scale.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If we compare cars from the 50s, for example, to nowadays, most of the cars now are silver, brownish, dark something. So the bright colors are a bit of a protest in my mind. So I like to infuse the world with a bit of color, and especially if you have like a dark London day, you come back home and there is something super bright, energizing. That's what I like a lot. But I started using super bright colors since I was a kid. Obviously, like the full palette of all the felt tip pens. And when I was in the art school, it was a bit difficult with the teachers because they didn't really let us use all the colors that we wanted. It was all like classical art school, and we had to obey. So when I graduated, I didn't paint for quite a long time. I was mostly in photography and video, like more tech stuff. And then about, 7 years ago, I started painting again, reworking everything that I learned at the art school and using it to my advantage now. Funny enough, I restarted painting after I won a photography competition. Yeah, that was interesting. I submitted a photo, which was a winning photo eventually, and one of the prizes that I got was a voucher for an art shop. And it was quite a nice sum. So I thought, okay, so I should buy something substantial, something like to last forever. And I got myself an easel and a couple of canvases. And this restarts. So photography, in hindsight, restarted my art career.
Everything's connected.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we haven't touched upon your photography part of creativity.
Yeah.
So Elina also does photography. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so in the daytime I'm a photographer. I shoot interiors in London for designers, magazines and architects.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So I've been to different places in London, some really, really gorgeous. Yeah. I love interior design and I love photography. So my background was photojournalism, and then I worked at the studio for some time shooting fashion. And then I learned that there is a world of interior photography, and I loved it because there is like another mode of my thinking when I do interior. So when I shoot people, I need to be bubbly and I need to get that.
Don't shoot people.
Yeah. I need to get like a personality out, right? Yeah. So I need to connect very deeply with a person. When I'm shooting interiors, it's the opposite. So it's all about lines and precision and angles. So I get into that meditative state almost. So I love both, but interior, it stuck with me for sure.
I've seen the images of the interiors you've taken. They're stunning, so beautiful. Who are usually the people who you work with when you shoot interiors?
Yeah, it's mostly designers and architects, sometimes staging agencies who take over a place and they need to show it in the best light. So my job is to showcase their vision in the best possible light, literally.
Yeah, I loved how you described how you work with people, that everyone's got different preferences and what they want to see in the image.
It's a collaborative effort in my mind because people have built something and it's my job to showcase it. So I love to talk to the clients beforehand, checking if my style works with theirs, if there are any adjustments to make, what they care about. Some designers, for example, love the cushions just straight. Some love a karate chop. So it's the little things that like that, but sometimes they mean a lot to a person. So I like to know them better to understand what they're looking for. And communication is key. Yeah, you talk to people, you learn more about them, and then you work together much more productively.
Yeah, it's such a useful and valuable skill to be able to, like, soft skills, right? To speak to the clients, to speak to partners, how like establishing a good collaboration. Yeah, it's a job in itself, I'd say. Yeah,
absolutely. So part of the job.
Yeah, I'd say that it looks like you're balancing a lot of like business and creative mindset. Maybe share some tips with the world how to do that.
Ooh, that's it's a loaded question. My main values are creativity, clarity, and Zen. So with creativity, it's quite obvious. You're creating something, you're building something, finding new ways how to do it. Clarity is being clear what you want and how you want it, and communicating with the client or whoever, your team member, your business partner. So being clear on the objectives, what is important, what is not. And then being calm, just discussing it, not raising your voice, not being too passionate. I once read a book and there was a really nice saying that if you want to say something, check if it's kind, if it's true, and if it's necessary. So that helps me a lot in different conflicts. I think creativity goes hand in hand with business. You have to juggle both, especially if you're freelance. And again, coming back to creativity, to clarity and communication, I find that so many creative people fail because they can't communicate, and that's their downfall. So I know I'm sometimes overwhelmed with emails or like jobs and clients and personal stuff, but then I still respond to an email straight away. And so many people don't. And you're just losing clients if you don't respond. Yeah. So being clear in your communication and very prompt as well is super important for me. And if someone is asking something of you, just respond at least that you are busy. You will come back to them and do come back.
So you recently had an exhibition.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
I had my first solo show, which was just excellent. Yeah, we gathered all our friends. Most of our friends are musicians as well, so there was awesome music playing live, and people came, and I got to talk about my art and show everything at once, which was quite a feeling, because in my studio some of the paintings, maybe older paintings, are stuck behind the wall somewhere, and I don't see the whole portfolio at once. And then, that was a great moment to appreciate and share what I've done with people and share the meanings and stories behind the paintings.
Yeah, it's a way of connecting with people as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that once you open up and you do what you love, and you're there and you're present, and then other people also feel that feeling of courage, that they can also express themselves and they can follow the path.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and I get inspired by other people all the time. So, sharing a bit of that, building something together as a collective meant a lot. Yeah, my Instagram handle is optimist.collective, and that's for a reason, because we are kind of gathering really cool people together, and then collaboratively we build a party or an event or have a rave in the forest, for example, as our dear friends did. I have a philosophy of defiance, maybe, because there is so much going in the world that is very, very sad. So my defiance is still bringing color to the world. Our friends' defiance is writing music, releasing music, and so on. So we collaboratively, we not looking at everything that's happening in the world, we still do something, defying the darkness, bringing optimism in. I believe in optimism, but not as, pretty sunny, everything is going to be okay no matter what. No, like active optimism, actively doing something, building something, changing and repairing things.
What does this little circle shape represent at the top of the painting?
Yeah, you can see them in a few of my paintings. Yeah, good observation. They can be stars in slow motion. If you put camera like for a couple of hours of exposure, then you'll have that sky that's moving. But also, if you zoom out, it could be a petri dish. So something from the lab. So I guess it's up to you what you want to make of it. So the blue painting behind me is about our immune system. So you can see the T cells there and different cellular structures. So it could be a petri dish. And in another painting with the trees, for example, there is a sky that's also dotted with stars.
I love that it gives me the fairy tale feeling. It helps me to pause and stop and just kind of maybe believe in magic in a way.
Oh, thanks. They are very cute paintings, but at the same time they have something slightly off sometimes. So the painting behind you with the blue and the needles, copper needles coming through, that's a painting that I painted and embroidered, so that's embroidery. When I was healing my hand, I cut myself quite badly and I got scared and I had to go to the hospital and the whole thing. So my hand was bandaged. And while I was healing, I was doing this painting. And this one is about the fragility of human body. So there are hands and blood vessels that are embroidered. So you can see that it looks like a coral from a distance, but then when you come closer, you can see those red blood vessels and also needles kind of attacking the fragile little body that we have.
Yeah, because we live in this urban space, and sometimes we forget how close we actually to the nature, and we just become very distant from the nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the yellow painting with the corals, this has an interesting story as well. So I really wanted to paint something about the bleaching of corals, which is an epidemic really. So lots and lots, just acres of corals are dying every day. And I painted the corals white, and then I looked at them and I thought, okay, so maybe they're too pale. I didn't quite like it, so I painted them super bright colors, as corals are. And then I started reading more about it because I'm a bit of a nerd. I need to research stuff. And little did I know, the corals, right before they die, they burst into the brightest colors they can. It's like the final call of the coral. So they burst into those fluorescent, amazing colors, and then they bleach and die. So that painting is like this close to death.
It's the DMT moment for the corals.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I mean by like an edge to the painting. So for people who just look at them from a distance, it feels like it's just naive, cute, colorful bubblegum stuff, but actually the painting reveals some stuff. There's a painting about healing plants that I have. Also very bright colors, everything is just super saturated. But then if you look closely, one of the plants is slightly bleeding because the plants are healing. But if you take too much, you can get damaged.
And there was a moment maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I went to Tenerife and we went swimming in the sort of wild or wildish beach where there were no guards, and I think it was almost like a stormy weather, but we just didn't notice it. We were like so in the mood for going and swimming, so we went swimming in very high waves, and at some point the tide started carrying me away, and at some point I realized that here I am all by myself trying to make it back to the shore. So it was a near-death experience, and it was an interesting realization at that moment. You're being very present, and you realize that it's not all fun and jokes, like when you're sitting there safe on your couch and you're scrolling through reels and you see people doing all the sorts of crazy and adrenaline type of stuff, and then you're there one-on-one with the nature and you realize how actually how dangerous it is.
No, exactly like that. And nature can be dangerous, nature can be soothing, and there is always growth. What I like, again, it aligns really well with my philosophy of optimism, that even in the darkest moments there is still growth. There is a painting that I have about Australian and Californian wildfires. So it is a forest in flames, but then there is growth still happening even in the darkest of moments.
Any advice to the up-and-coming artists?
The best advice I can give is just keep on doing, keep on going, keep on moving. Don't look back. Don't listen to anyone. Because essentially it's your voice, whatever you do with it, whatever you want to say. Have something to say. Everyone has something to say. I'm learning to be braver every day, telling the stories that I want to share with people.